Hello, friends, subscribers, and followers. This is me, Brad Richter, doing another movie review here. Like I'm trying to do this like once a week, kind of thing. I work and watching movies all the time. If you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, I see me watching a lot of movies or posting a lot of stuff in my collection and stuff like that. I do plan on doing another collection um, within my collection and maybe doing like a top 10 or top 20 or something like that. We'll get down to that when it gets time to it. But you'll see and I post the actual poster or the cover without having it be backwards here. But this is my Demon Lover. That's the review for today. Let's see. I saw my Demon Lover in. I'm trying to think. That was like 1992 was the first time I saw it. Um, and when I saw it, I kind of like it wasn't the best comedy. It had like horror elements in it, but it wasn't the best. And over years of not seeing it for so long, I recently purchased it last year and now have it on DVD, which is through the Warner Archive collection. And doesn't really have any special features. It does have the trailer on it, but um, Scott Valentine. A lot of people may remember him from being on the TV show Family Ties. He plays the main character in it, and basically, um, he has he has a thing where he falls in love. When he falls in love with some lady, or he gets excited, he starts to turn into a demon. Um, and there's this one girl that has been having bad relationships, and she ends up falling for this guy he's kind of like a homeless guy, really, because he's not really doing much of anything. And she falls for this guy, and she realizes he turns into a demon, but she has an affection towards him, and it doesn't bother her that he can turn into a demon. And some of the comedy parts in the movie are pretty bad. But all in all, I mean, for a 1987 film, when you had loads and loads of comedy and spoofs and horror comedies throughout the 80s, certain films are just going to be like on the down low, and not people are going to get a lot of recognition. Another couple of films that I remember from the 80s that I saw towards the beginning of the 90s. Um, there was a lot of movies that had good quality characters and story, but they just didn't resonate with a lot of people, and it didn't catch on. Like My Best Friend's a Vampire. Um, let's see, that's one of them. Another one is You Can't Hurry Love. There's quite a few, but then you get all through you had all the teen sex comedies, the Porky's films, you had Joysticks, you had Hamburger the Motion Picture, you had Hot Dog the Movie. Um, Screen Test. He had tons of them. But from my own personal opinion, My Demon Lover is a movie that deserves to be at least watched once. And if you like it, then purchase it. If you're not, you haven't wasted um, much of your time and getting to watch the film and finding out all about it. But on the cover, it says, "She was a dream come true. He was a good reason not to go to sleep. My demon lover, falling in love can be very scary." Now, the special effects are what they were. They were mostly practical effects, because back in the 80s, that's when they did a lot of practical effects. Nowadays, there's not so many practical effects in horror or horror comedy. It's mainly CGI, and some CGIs can be pretty bad. Um, but all in all, it's got a great cast. I mean, you've got, like I said, you had Scott Valentine, who played the what was his character's name? Kaz. His name was Kaz, and he falls in love with this one girl named Michelle Little, and her character was Denny. She is still in the business. She doesn't do much as far as acting anymore. And then you also have um, Robert Trebor, who went on to play in the Hercules, the Legendary Journeys, and the late Arnold Johnson was in this. Robert Shea produced this, and because it is a New Line Cinema movie, a lot of people know like the Nightmare on Elm Street films and some of the other films like Jason Goes to Hell and Man's Best Friend, and tons of other films that New Line did before went on to be purchased through the Warner Brothers. Um, And, the special effects was done by a guy named Carl Fullerton, who did the makeup for Friday the 13th Part 2. And he's been he's been the personal assistant makeup artist for Denzel Washington for most of his career. And this was like maybe fourth or fifth film he did that before at and like through the 80s, and then as he got older and got into more of the business, he went on and he did like a lot of, like I said, a lot of Denzel Washington. He was his own personal makeup assistant, and but he's made a great career out of that. But like I said, there's not much more I can say that without giving a lot of weight, giving out a lot of the movie. Hopefully you check it out. I don't know if you can stream it on any of the streaming services or YouTube, but if you do happen to come across it, I check it out. I mean, it's not a very long movie. I think it's like an hour and 28 minutes. So it's not like you're going to be, if you just want to sit down, drink a cup of coffee, drink beer, drink some pop, whatever, have some popcorn and just have a good time, by all means do it. I mean, I purchased the movie after not seeing it from I think it's like 25, 26 years, but I enjoyed it. I've already seen it like 3 times since I've gotten it, and I probably watch it as many more. It's just certain movies that I like that a lot of people won't find interesting, like Meatballs 4, which tomorrow will be its 30th anniversary of the release of Meatballs 4. A lot of people didn't like Meatballs 4. I liked it, and I still to this day watch it constantly. And there's also movies like Dark Heritage. Was another. I did a review on that on my on this channel. You can go back through the videos I did and look at that review. Dark Heritage is another movie that a lot of people just don't care for, and like I kind of tend to like certain things that aren't recognized and doesn't get a lot of um how would you say notice or people talking about it. And that's why I pick certain films that I like to review that not a lot of people know about or have not heard about, and just to go back in time and look at all this stuff. And but it is funny. It does have some funny moments. Um, but for my Richter scale rating, I would give it probably a solid 7. Um, it's not so bad that I wouldn't watch it. Like I said, I've watched it many times, but it's not so bad I wouldn't want to watch it more than once or twice, and it's not so good I would have liked to watch it as over 100 times like a Back to the Future, or over 500 times like the Goonies. But it's a great movie for what it is, and like I said, if you come across it on YouTube, watch it. If you want to buy it, go ahead, by all means buy it. So hopefully, um, I didn't get much into the plot of the movie, but you can look that up on Internet Movie Database or in Wikipedia or anything like that, and just find out all that information. But hopefully, you enjoyed this review. I know it's kind of a short review. I'm trying to get back into doing videos that are like over 10, 12 minutes long, but certain movies, I can just talk about certain amount of time about it. But like if you get some movies like a Friday 13th or a Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween or any of those kind of franchise films, I could talk probably 30 minutes about it. Um, uh, Before I go, there's a friend of mine that has a YouTube channel. Her YouTube channel is Cruel Inches or Cruel in Winches, and she did a review of one of her worst remakes. And what she didn't care for about it at all was a Nightmare on Elm Street remake. And then it got me thinking, maybe I should do a review of my favorite remake. So that's something I'm thinking about doing the next review. Hopefully, everything goes as planned and I can do that, or it'll become sometime this month. And so, anyway, have a great weekend. Enjoy the week. And I will catch you on the next review next Saturday.